Hello, and welcome back to Hour 2 of Episode 16 of Unfettered. Friends, what are you gonna do?
One of us wants to spend, 20 days flying across the world and coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The other person wants to, hunt some demons. Which
Roleplay is a beat cop and done cynic on his last case, hunting down some demons on his 30-second last case.
Yeah, you're just gonna retire in 2 days.
But I've gotta finish up this last case. So, how do we want to do this?
That's a good question. So weighing in a little bit as your friend and not your DM, if Constance goes on her own to the Draconic Isles, and meanwhile Albert hangs back in Maradoon, if something happens to Albert, Constance will not be in a position to help.
Yeah.
Alright, I already foretold he was gonna die, so let's go ahead and get this over with. I've been expecting him to die in the past 5 combats. Might as well just get it over with.
Also, but if we wait longer, it means we might have more content when I get to the Dragon Isles. So
If we what?
if we wait a little bit, we might have more.
I'm equally prepped for either of them.
Okay.
Okay. Because so here's the thing: if we spend some time hunting down demon stuff and get this magic circle thing done, we might have more questions when we actually go there.
Also, there's a bigger question I just realized I have.
Hmm.
How much gold did we get from that dungeon?
I don't remember. I said gold values to you at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, every time you found a pile of gold.
No, because we just said we'll pick that up later, or we'll have our crew pick that up later, and then we moved on.
Yeah, to expedite playing.
Okay, people in YouTube, say which of these happened. But in the meantime, you will get a pile of gold equivalent to, and goods equivalent to 60,000 GP.
Sick.
All right.
It's like we're well on our way to either building a robot army or finally giving Albert a custom man of war.
Where's our...
It's like half of my character. The only reason I'm playing a charisma character.
Yeah, you need charisma for ships.
Sorry, base rules you need ships. Now it's just what the fuck.
It's true, you do need charisma for ships, but...
Okay.
Anywho, so is the plan to return to Dunsimic?
Yeah, no matter what, that's our first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after... we probably spend a day or two there, so... John's checking out the magical side of things. Mabel's doing the magitech side of things.
All right.
Yeah, I'll probably be, I don't know. I guess talking to the guards and just trying to figure out where I could find.
Find what?
Find leads on the cultists.
Okay.
Organized guard.
Well, I mean,
we're
going to
spend 2 days here.
What's
up? Oh, there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess Albert just spends 2 days fucking around with the staff.
Oh, shit. Thank you for pointing that out, PB. I had them muted. That will not be an issue in the VOD, thank God. But, yeah. They haven't said anything interesting or important this whole time.
We've just been discussing where we're going, and...
Yeah.
But thanks for pointing that out so I can fix it for all of you.
How many times have we had these?
Twice? This is twice now?
At least it's not a final boss battle.
Yeah. And it's the first time since I changed how the audio setup works, so the audio's all still there for YouTube.
Alright, so...
Oh, thank goodness. Alright. That's your premiere YouTube...
YouTube exclusive content.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Let's So we spend a day there just doing the things.
Yeah, we
Then
fast
we
forward
head-
to the 14th, and you guys are arriving in Dunsimic. You had to take a bit of an odd path over the mountains, trying to avoid some other cities here and here, and not get caught up in Imperial airspace. But as you're flying, you go past, the flocks of birds, and you can vaguely see these cities in the distance, and at each of them there are Imperial ships like coming and going pretty steadily. But you arrive toward the evening of the 14th in Dunsimic. What are you planning to do once you get there?
Well, I wanted to talk to the O'Dares.
Okay.
And then
Did mention
probably
that.
Mabel will be around for that with her research notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's actually worth noting. In the 2 days that you were there scouring this facility, you did manage to trace the pipes back to sort of like a source machine, but that in turn had some pipes that fed into the earth, and where that led out you could not trace.
I'm picturing Constance like trying to dig. Can't be that much farther. Like the hole's just getting deeper. Can't be that much farther.
Yeah, we get like a little vignette of that. But yeah, so they all fed back into some kind of machine, which Mabel took the time to take down some mechanical illustrations of to show the O'Dares. But her current working theory is that it was some kind of pump for the arcane.
There's an experiment I want to do with that staff that's not a good experiment.
That's
What is
most
that?
of Constance's experiments, if you
Yeah,
ask
it's
me.
how close can I get to the arcane while using that staff?
No.
Um,
Answer 1, no.
I'll teleport back eventually.
Answer 2, no.
Just jump, start falling. I'll get there eventually.
I mean,
You
not
wouldn't
on
have
the
any
flight
ground to
path
tap
that you
it on.
took.
Just land on the sand, several hundred feet down. Oh, right.
Right, I can't fall through the earth. So yeah, that line doesn't really give you a whole lot of opportunities to fall into the arcane.
So we...
He would just be like,
yeah. Crispy, what are you doing in the... when we arrive?
I'm probably like, Albert's probably gonna get ready to hunt down some cultists, and I'm probably gonna have a conversation between John and I. Actually, maybe Lee Fo too.
Okay.
Pretty handy when it comes to this whole extra-dimensional shit.
Yeah, what does getting prepared for hunting down cultists look like? Because that's a really broad statement.
Okay, so what getting prepared to hunt down cultists, what that looks like is probably him going around to all of the city guard and getting descriptions of the events leading up to the city taken over by cultists or whatever, where
Okay.
they came from, what they looked like, what they like, where it seemed like they'd come from, if there was any kind of like sign leading up to it, like a weird shipment of goods or a fuck ton of people going to the city. He's basically just trying to track
Going
down
to the houses of the known cultists that had died.
and
Okay.
like looking for clues. So yeah, literally
Okay.
beat cop.
Sleuthing.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's start off with that conversation that you wanted to have before heading out. Albert.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll gather up Lifo and John.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably on the ship or whatever. It's like the night before we get back to. All right. So we never properly figured out what happened. How? I have a lot of questions. The cultists. How did they get into the city? Why were there so many of them? Where did they come from?
They came into the city by being already there.
Right.
Near as I can tell, Clementine recruited them directly.
From the local area.
Aye.
thing. I wonder if there's someone behind Clementine or another group.
I I
The
wouldn't
camera
know.
zooms to the dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're sitting in your study, right? And you're like fiddling with the dagger, and so the camera just sort of like pans a little bit over.
Yeah. And then like kind of with that Albert kind of like lays the dagger on the desk. This is the only evidence, the only real knowledge we have of what they were doing. Clearly they were sacrificing, but this dagger is somehow connected to whatever creature they were interfacing with. When I picked this dagger up after the battle, I had a vision, saw kind of called
You're
itself an angel. What?
nah, you're good. You're good. Keep going.
It called itself an angel. Hardly aesthetically pleasing. Faceless, enormous. Called itself. What was the name of the guy? What was it again?
Raziel, I believe. Yeah.
Raziel. Yeah. It called itself Raziel. Read it by name. By name.
Oof, yeah. Your audio's cutting out pretty bad.
Okay.
Try. I think. Try talking now.
Hello.
I think you're good.
All right.
All right.
I'll just have to hold my headset in place.
Yeah, I think. So for our viewers at home, Crispy's headphones physically broke. So I think we're going to, again, unfortunately have a short episode tonight and just do 2 parts. And then we'll get everything sorted out for next session.
If things are going fine, then
we'll talk about it on the break, but if
audio keeps cutting out.
Yeah, if the audio keeps cutting out, then we'll just have to have a slightly shorter episode. But we're already getting some juicy details. So
juicy. All
right. So Raziel, not aesthetically pleasing. Picked up those 2 things.
Raziel, not particularly aesthetically pleasing, and it called itself angel. Look. Well, not that I've seen it. Oh, there's a whole host of questions around this. Nonetheless, that seems to be the creature that Clementine was. We know that the promise that she was given was that that it would help stop the end of the world.
You saw this being, this Raziel.
Yes.
Can you describe it?
Large, faceless. It had wings, right?
No. It was wearing long white flowing robes, and its entire form was white.
Right. It was wearing long white flowing robes. Didn't have a face. Entire form was whiteness. Boy.
This does not sound like any angel I would know of.
Don't think that. Far be it from me to say anything, but I don't think any creature that requires the sacrifice of 100 civilians would be much of an angel at all.
It depends upon the god.
God? Are we talking about the dragon gods or the divine? Of course, right.
There are
Questionable.
many other gods than this limited list of options you have provided to me.
Sometimes forget that Lifo knows way more than any of us know, but never properly understand it.
It is not important that you understand.
Right.
It is important only that you act justly.
Of course. So there are many other gods.
Who's his favorite?
And some of them enjoy sacrificing things. And these gods are reaching into our world. I don't know if I've heard.
That seems unlikely.
Does it?
Gods frequently are concerned with their own spheres, not the spheres of others. And this creature that you described did not describe itself as a god, but as an angel.
Right.
Were it a
Do
god,
angels-
would it not have declared itself such?
That's fair, but do angels not work under foreign gods? Because the way you described it seemed as though that was the case.
That would be true.
In
Though-
which case, the actions of this angel are related to the god. It would in some way be related to their masters.
Assuming its words can be taken at face value.
True. I was shown a vision, but that means nothing. Could have been illusion. Far too complicated. So why don't we focus on this from the side of the cultists? So we know that there were cultists in the city. I want to find out if these were related to another group that stems from Mullen, or if these were a different related to Clementine.
Well, I wouldn't know that much. They were pretty close knit. They didn't let much information out until the information they were letting out was that they wanted to kill people. But
Right.
perhaps we could find something in the city.
I have an idea. We'll find out. I think we should take a list, cultists, or as many as we can. Trace it back and see if some of them came from the mainland and if others were converted to the city. Because if they came from the mainland, we can trace them back to where they came. We might have to behind the Empire's borders, but there's a larger presence than just one person. Wouldn't be wise to leave them be.
Aye. Well, perhaps we could go ask Gamzees. She should have the records from the mayor's manor.
Right. I think that would be a wise decision.
Alright, so the three of you head out to go do that. Meanwhile, Constance, you wanted to talk to some scientists about some science stuff.
Science stuff.
I mean, magic.
Yes. Magic science. So we'll land obviously, and
Mhm.
Constance is gonna she's gonna load up all of Mabel's stuff onto a cart and just get that moving. Just so Mabel, how are you doing?
What? She looks up from the book that she was reading.
Yeah.
I'm okay, I guess.
Good. Okay, keep just going.
How are you?
Just slowly tearing the world apart.
Cool. Yeah, she she opens her mouth to speak a couple times, and and you can tell from the corner of your eye, and then she just sort of goes back to reading her book while you're walking.
I think at some point I got my sword back.
Oh, that's cool. Where?
Well,
How?
the spirits of the land were happy that we killed the big evil thing.
Oh, what big evil thing? I'm sorry. I feel a little out of the loop here.
There was an evil earth spirit at the top of the tower.
Oh. Right, wait, there was an evil... Oh, that explains all the barriers.
Yeah, oh,
Wait, and she puts closes the book and sets it down on the cart with all the other stuff. And then starts rummaging around with stuff as you're pushing it along, and pulls out some papers. So that means that the different locations have different purposes. They're not all the same. They're not just treasure vaults like people thought.
Oh. Yes.
Well, because the first one we went to I guess I'm not really sure what it was doing, but there was
I just
a
like pull
thing
out the
there.
bars. Just holding this. Has 2 leaves left on it.
Right. It was holding that, whereas this one was a prison. So, I mean, they were both defended, and they were both holding a thing, but one of them was to keep people out, and the other was to keep a thing in. So, I wonder if the other ones will be for different stuff. We need we need to go to a third one
Well,
to really be sure.
okay, Constance just sits there for a second. We have a map.
Yeah, I think you like stop walking with the cart and say, "Well," dramatically, and she's like writing stuff down and she keeps walking. And then she looks up. Sorry, what was that? Why are we stopping?
Pushing the cart. Let's get to the O'Dares.
Right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just finish writing this down. And yeah, you go to the O'Dares. They're set up in a small like studio workshop, near the like between the sort of mercantile, district and a more residential area. And there's you're here in the evening, but you can see there are lights on inside.
Oh, good. They're still awake.
What do you do?
I think I'm just gonna go up and knock on the door.
Just a minute. And you hear some cranking and some creaking, and then something gets set down on a wooden table, and Kelly comes to the door, opens it up. Oh,
Hi.
what a surprise to see you. It's been quite some time. Please come in.
Well, you see, and then like Constance is just walking in. Well, we got to the vault. We opened it. We've got research notes.
Constance doesn't have a soul.
I don't have a soul. Just keep walking.
Well,
Oh, also I break down the universe around me.
Roderick. Roderick, like, there's an upstairs. Roderick comes down the stairs and like pokes his head over the banister. He's got like a pair of goggles with like little adjustable lenses on the front, and so his eyes are like huge. What appears to be the problem? Our girl here, she didn't have a soul. He flips up all of the lenses. Well, that's certainly interesting.
Also, I tear the world apart every time I use my powers.
Right, that. Would you like a cup of tea?
Yeah, I think we could all use that.
I'll put a kettle on. He goes back upstairs, and you hear some banging and some rummaging. Dear, did you want a set?
Ooh, yeah, well, sitting seems good. So we got there.
Yeah.
Turns out, Lifo, yeah, he didn't mention this because we were all so normal about it. He can just see people's souls on the regular.
Oh, of course he can.
Yeah, I don't have one. Haven't.
Did you have him look really hard?
Well, we found an item that lets us see, and I can confirm there's...
Did you perhaps check with a lens of some sort? You know, maybe it's just real small.
Checked for the black hole. Wasn't there.
Roderick calls down from upstairs. I don't think it would work like that, honey. Right. Just checking all my options here. Yeah, Roderick will come downstairs with like a tray that's got some mismatched teacups on it and a kettle, and there's a little sugar bowl, but he accidentally put a spanner in it and not a spoon.
Yeah, so I think we're all just drinking tea. Just this is nice. So projects. I know you're rebuilding, but there's two things that I'd like you to look at into.
Well, and Kelly puts like a hand on your knee. I'm
Not my soul.
Okay.
I'm more than certain that's long gone, and there's no hope for me. But
do you know if you ever had one?
Well, as long as Lee Fo's known me, I haven't.
I see.
So now, okay, stop and think. I doubt I gave it to my.
Well, perhaps you were just born without one. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, it probably wasn't ripped to shreds inside of the arcade. It's probably fine.
It's conceivable that an individual could be born without one. Aye.
Business. We don't need to worry about my soul. We'll just pretend like I still have one. Denial has always proven an amazing tactic for coping.
I wouldn't, and Kelly just shoots him a look. Say anything against that idea.
So, I was thinking it might help the restoration and defense of the city if we had more robots up and running.
Oh, well, that's already figured out. We know how to do that. So
yeah, that's just finding the manpower. Kind of stuff. Do you think we could set up a workshop? Get jobs going? Restore some industry?
That's not a bad idea right there. We could talk to the council, see if we can get some funds.
Okay. If not, we just got some money at the temple, which... Okay. Now, fold out just grab random sheets of Mabel's notes.
Mm-hmm.
The temple was drawing its power from the arcane. Well, I guess when it was built, the ley lines.
Oh. Duh. Oh my god. Mabel just holds her face. Because the arcane, before it was the arcane, it was the ley lines which were in the ground, which means that the thing... I bet if we flew underneath, we could find where those pipes came out. Do you want to fill us in? And I think you guys go over the pipes and the condensers and all that stuff. And eventually what you come to, or what the three of them come to as their idea, is trying to engineer some kind of I guess a pump, but
vacuum
for sucking up the arcane, which has since turned into this roiling energy disaster, and pulling it up toward the facility. If you were to do that, then rerouting that energy via the pipes would be as simple as making new pipes. So the two things that you'll have to figure out if you go with that method are how to make that machine and what those pipes are made of and how to make more.
Meta-knowledge. We're gonna have to find a different method. Okay.
Or potentially, if you could find a way of like sort of battery storing the energy, just tapping into the pipes and collecting on site could work.
So yeah, we'll just talk over.
It's sort
options.
of like, yeah, there's a power grid in the pyramid. You could like set up new poles to run that power somewhere else, or you could set up a collection operation. Of course,
we're just gonna pull out their pipes and repurpose them.
Yeah, like setting up an entire pipe system would be more energy efficient because you would be able to get it all the way to wherever you're trying to get it. But barring that, if you cannot, in this analogy, figure out the secret technology between behind power lines, then yes, you can absolutely find a way to store it in capacitors or batteries or whatnot.
Yeah, so I think we're just science talking all the way through this, and then at some point, just Constance goes, turns to me. Are we talking about making a device that can literally just drain my powers?
I guess kind of. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, if you change some things around, you might be able to do that.
So this technology stays quiet?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
Sit there for a second, just like...
I think we, like, see the four of you sitting in awkward silence, and then we cut over to, Albert, sifting... You're in some dingy, storeroom underneath the mayor's manor, here in Dunsimic, and you've got just boxes and boxes of papers around you, and you're looking for further information on the cultists. Why don't you go ahead and roll investigation check for me, which interestingly is the first roll of our session tonight.
Go ahead and spend.
Yeah. There we go. 15, not bad. Yeah, so there's a stack of boxes that you've already gone through and discarded. But as we cut to you, we see you pull out a ledger, and you recognize that it is listing people that were working with Constance, that had been inducted into this order, and their ranks, and not really a whole lot of personal information, but this list of names could be used to cross-reference.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and take that list of names. Okay, do I get the feeling that if I sift through this pile of files anymore, that it would actually help me out?
You could use this, if you can find citizenry records, you could use this pile of information to maybe find out stuff on loans and where people live, that kind of clerical information.
Okay. So first I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go to former leader of the guard. Or is he still leader of the... the Imperials who are working under the guard who got...
I think at this point, command has shifted somewhat.
But like the former captain.
Yeah.
And like take the list to him and see if I can't get like a list of new recruits. See if there's like a connection. People who had transferred.
Okay, so yeah, you go, and it's It's really late at night at this point. But you
Yeah.
you go to this guy's house and you knock on the door. And I think actually it's a woman answers the door with a somewhat grizzled face. Her short gray hair is kind of frizzed out. What do you want? Oh, Vessinger. Come in.
Right.
She
Pardon my-
she looks behind you as she like stands back and holds the door open for you to walk in.
Yeah, I'll
And
go ahead and
who are
walk
you,
in.
lovely people?
Oh yeah, behind. Right. These are my companions, Leafo and John. I guess one could say officers working under me.
She looks out the door, looks down the street both ways, and then steps back in and closes it, slides a couple bolts over. All right, Vessinger, what is it?
Right. I was wondering if you knew where the information for new recruits in the guard was before the incident happened in the city.
Are you talking about the guard, or are you talking about Clementine's whatever she was doing?
After some sifting, managed to find records of membership, Clementine's cult, and we're trying to cross-reference that, but only the city.
You've completely cut out there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
All right. And we're going to try and cross-reference that with people who only entered this, joined the guard, entered this, trying to see if this is connected to some sort of Mullind-based operation.
Right. Well, go ahead and make a persuade check.
All right. Advantage.
Oh no, not a charisma check. Wait, really?
Ooh, roll the 2.
Yeah, there was, everything was on fire that night. Unfortunately, our headquarters were not spared. So most of those records burned up. You might ask the new captain. She could know.
I find that unlikely, considering we switched our record-keeping style, and with new recruits, I doubt there'd be anyone more knowledgeable about the system than you are.
I don't know what to tell you.
What if there was monetary compensation?
You bribing me, boy?
No, I'm paying.
I think behind you,
Yeah.
Leafo,
Yeah.
Leafo turns to John and says, "Is that not a bribe?"
There's a difference.
She's not officially employed by anything, so it's
no. I'm
it's
offering
asking her
you
to do a
no,
job.
It's I'm offering you a job.
I'll let you make a second persuasion check.
All right. I can't spend that last inspiration of mine, so hopefully. Wow, roll the 6.
So close.
Look, Vessinger, I believe in what you're doing. To the extent that it doesn't get people hurt. And what Clementine did, what she did was unconscionable. But looking into this any deeper isn't gonna help anyone. It's just gonna get more people in danger and more people killed. Let it go.
Say that. If there is another, if there are more spirit, think. What was Clementine? What was Clementine trying to end? What was her goal? We haven't told them. Them that.
I don't lose sleep trying to analyze the motives of crazy people that try to murder an entire city. You should try it. You'll sleep better.
I haven't slept well in a long time. About 40 years. So let me tell you this. if you don't cooperate with it, very well mean the loss of more innocent lives. Another conspiracy, another plot, perhaps another city burned down. If we don't figure out where these people came from and what they're doing, crazy or not, that doesn't mean that they're that we're even worse. Clementine was high-ranking. Other officers of the Imperial military were in similar ranks of power were also caught up in this. What does that mean? Very well mean Imperial-backed cultists. I won't rest easy away. I need your help. You're the only one. You're the person who's most likely to know where this is kept.
Okay. You get one last shot at this.
Are you fucking kidding me?
She walks back to the door. I understand that you think you're doing the right thing. And she like slides the bolts back. But leave it. This is not part of your crusade, whatever it is. Go back to saving the world by saving the people in it. She opens the door. If you'll excuse me, I was sleeping.
Right. Roll something myself right now. All right. Yeah. So he motions to John and the phone. Very well. I hope you sleep with the conscience.
Yeah. You too. And as you walk out, the door closes and you hear like all the locks
back up.
go back. Well, she was a right ray of sunshine.
Looks like we'll have to talk to the current captain of the guard and get their help.
It's a bit late. You think maybe we should be heading back?
Head back. I'll keep working.
I do not think that wise, Captain. Your frame requires rest.
Every second we waste, second that we get information closer, strike while the iron.
Every second that you attempt to act while lacking your full strength is a second you risk yourself and all those you stand for.
Few hours. Yeah. I'll head over, check out the record itself. I don't think current captain. Time.
Very well. I think we're gonna have to call it there. Because what with tech issues and all, it's gonna be better if we come back at this next weekend. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. I'm seeing lots of new faces in the chat tonight, which is very exciting. I highly recommend that you go back and check our previous episodes up on YouTube. But yes, thank you so much. We're going to be back at this. I think, do we have anything? We don't have anything keeping us from having an episode next Saturday, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Get back to me on that.
Maybe. Okay. This is a fantastic opportunity for me to say you should follow me on Twitter. I am on Twitter at Anarisis, and I always post schedule updates, so you can keep track of whether or not we're having an episode, and you don't miss an episode, but you also don't show up to a stream that's not happening. So go ahead and follow me there. Check out the links down below if you feel so inclined. And thanks to the two of you for showing up. Even if we had some technical difficulties, I feel like we got some really, really good progress today. And man, did it feel good to not be rolling nothing but combat rolls.
You mean barely rolling dice at all?
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace. It's good to shake things up every once in a while. So yes, thank you all so much. We will be back at it again, hopefully next weekend, but keep an eye out. And as always, have a fantastic remainder to your evening. Bye-bye.